Are you okay?
That's
Jake?
loud.
That was
really loud.
You have your volume turned up. It's just perfect for me. It's perfect for me.
That's
okay,
okay,
and it's probably
but, like,
perfect for everybody else too.
How much louder was that than my voice, though?
It's the
Because
same.
that was a lot louder than your voice.
Well, I don't know. Maybe
we've had. I'm just here. Here's the thing, Chris. We've had some comments about the audio quality lately, and so I want to make
what
sure.
What episode was it?
Well, they said the last several, which I agree with, because yes, I did screw up. My editing of mine wasn't great, and that was all me. So kudos to you for producing this podcast and doing well at it.
You're very, very welcome. Everything should be fine. There's definitely been a little bit of a growing pain because we don't have a mixer that says, "Hey, do all this shit for me." So I have to go through and do it. So it's actually more work for me. But hey, I don't have to drive all the way down to St. Paul, 45 minutes.
That's right.
In traffic anymore.
So that's a good thing.
So we got. So what do we got today? What's going on?
Well, with that extra time, you've been able to work on cars, and you fixed your car, and we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about scouting for the rally, and we'll talk about some news. I have a whole bunch of news to look at.
Right on.
It'll be a good time. We'll see what's going on. So let's start out with some personal projects here, because you said that you maybe have figured out the nightmare that was carburetors.
Okay, so a few things.
Okay.
I kind of have a pretty good idea after working with side draft carburetors, which are for anybody that doesn't know, a side draft carburetor is a carburetor that lays on its side and it drafts the air from the side. Okay, so it sticks, it's horizontal. It's not vertical like Velocity stacks on a 911 or like a Can-Am car or any of this type of stuff. Okay, well, those were MFI.
Most motorcycle carburetors are side draft when you think of it that way.
Right.
Like the actual intake runner is horizontal.
Right. So
yes.
And it has a common bowl where there's individual throttle bodies. So one side draft carburetor has two throttle bodies in it.
This is for the Weber DCOEs specifically.
Yes. What a DCOE stands for? It's probably something in Italian, huh?
Dual carburation optimale engineering.
Just add IO to everything. Carburatio. Dualio, Carburatio.
It is Dualio, you're right. Definitely Dualio. I can 100% guarantee
I challenge
DCOE
you to a Dualio. Yeah, it's where you have two guns in the duel, not just one. It's a Dualio.
Yeah, a Dualio duel.
A Dualio duel. Yes. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Anyways.
So and I have 3 of those. And
correct, because that equals 6 cylinders, turns out.
It does, yeah. 2 times 3 is 6, believe it or not. And it has been a nightmare. I've done 2 many, many times. Many times.
Right.
And you only have to sync one with the other. With 3, you're syncing one to 2 others, and each one is syncing to 2 others. So it becomes exponentially more difficult. So you have 2 syncing mechanisms, and I've simplified to remove 1 throttle rod, which seems to have really helped simplify things out quite a bit. Plus, it doesn't hit the hood.
Well, yes, because the one that you had made was shorter as a fulcrum.
Yeah.
And so it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah. So I've got it figured out. It's I don't have, I have 95% throttle. I don't have the last little bit, but I'm thinking,
why?
Because I
just
the geometry I can't
throw.
I just can't. I can't figure it out. Maybe if I spend some more time with it now that I figured out other stuff, I can figure it out. But the geometry, I want to convert it over to a cable. Is what I would really like to do. Is run one single
because
cable.
Right now it's all linkage.
It's all linkage, which means when the motor moves, which it doesn't move much anymore, because I made. See what I did? I made polyurethane mounts.
So you took
awesome
rubber mounts and then you just filled them with
polyurethane
epoxy,
and I drilled holes in the rubber. So I took a big drill bit
and
add
extra,
so it would seep in, and it would have weight. What do you mean stuff? You're being condescending right now. I could tell.
No, I'm not. No,
a little
I'm
bit.
Not.
So I drilled holes in the rubber so that it would seep in and grab onto the mount itself. And dude, it's awesome. Those old mounts used to just rock. You remember seeing it? It was AC/DC all day long.
Rock in not a good way.
Yeah, not in a good way at all.
It's so that's like these things rock. It's wow, that motor rocks a lot, and that's not good for anything.
It is not.
So when you talk about motor mounts and stuff like that, the measurement of flexibility is the durometer, right?
Yes.
So it's the durometer of the
rubber.
Know.
Don't ask me what the durometer is.
I'm curious. Like it's
I
more.
remember when I did it. So I had well, it's more than rubber because it's polyurethane. But I had looked and did research on which to use.
Is this like an epoxy?
Yeah, it's a 2-part polyurethane. And I looked up the number for the durometer.
Durometer, yeah,
durometer
sure.
Of it, and
a durometer. That seems like it should be
what
a gauge,
I want,
though.
Yeah, like you're measuring it. So I did look up, and I have like, okay, that's the one I want. I did research, but I don't.
Okay,
I didn't retain the information. It's
fine.
I don't remember.
No, that's
brain's like
you know what you're doing.
Right.
That's all I'm clarifying here. Do you know what you're doing?
Well,
okay,
not really.
Sometimes, but
I pretend. And if I don't know what I'm doing, it breaks, and then I learn, and then I know what I'm doing.
Okay, cool. So case in point,
great.
I do like the idea. So anyways, going back to it, you're thinking maybe a cable linkage instead of this
because
physical...
even though I feel like I could have more control because I've got another bell crank linkage situation to go to the gas pedal. So you push the gas pedal down, it pulls on a thing, which then rotates the rod. And I'm like, it's
kind of convoluted for what needs to happen.
2 or 3 more ball joints.
Right.
And if I just had a cable, I could just run a cable and then I would eliminate that whole thing. And the motor can move all at once. Yep, the motor can move and it wouldn't adjust. Like I wouldn't feel the pedal vibrating, all of these different things.
Oh, yeah. Would that allow you that extra 5% of full travel, do you think? Or is that part of the
it would eliminate one adjustment, that's for sure. Because I have to, the pedal travel itself, I have to figure that out. So I have to be like, okay, I have to be able to rotate my foot over and heel toe. Like I don't want the gas pedal to be higher than the brake pedal, right?
Yeah, so then I have to in a couple different spots.
Yeah, but then I also need to make sure that I'm getting wide open throttle. And the wide open throttle is actually the stop on the floor and not the stop on the carburetor because you're exerting a lot of force and you can bend the rods inside.
Well, that's why usually it's actually like a spring actuator, right? You're not pulling directly on the throttle plates. There's supposed to be a spring in between the linkage and what you're operating.
No, that's not true. I've never seen a spring. I've seen springs I've seen you have return springs, but I've never seen.
You're right, because even like on our 911s, there's no
spring. There's an internal spring that will close the butterflies. I mean, there is something there.
You know what I'm talking about. Like,
there's no dampener. That's the point. Because if you hit the wide open throttle stop and you're using your gas pedal and you're like really wanting it, you can bend the rods and
That's
cause
why what I'm
problems.
saying a lot of times is
there's
what
no
you're doing
times.
Is you're pulling on a spring. What do you mean there's no times? I've seen this on many cars.
Yeah, it's probably some British pile of shit is what it is.
It's either British, a lot of American stuff too. You're pulling on a spring, and the other end of the spring is what pulls the
Sounds really imprecise and like not great throttle response.
No, it's precise, but then you can keep going past 100% and you're not damaging anything. You're just pulling the spring a little bit. That's the whole point of it.
Or you could just adjust it properly and have your throttle stop be on the floor, which is what I've done.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. And your Zeniths don't have that. The Webers don't have that.
You're right. They don't in this instance, but not everything is a 911.
No, but not everything is a side draft either.
Where it has, yes. Okay, so talking about these side drafts, there was one that would continually just flood.
Yep, and it was the float. Because all I did is I took the float out, the old one, and it was pretty beat. Like the tang on the, I guess on the
where it contacts the actual valve.
The float comes up on an arc and pushes on a little valve. And the buoyancy of the floats is enough pressure because you're only running 3 psi in a carburetor.
Correct. Yep.
It's enough to shut the fuel pressure off, the buoyancy of the carburetors. Yes. And the tang, which is the little thing that pushes on the valve, and there's a little bearing on there, so it moves nice because it has to be able to rotate and move up and down. I think it was a little beat up. And I think it was getting sticky or something.
Sure. Okay.
But anyway, I can't explain it other than that. Or it was rubbing on the side of the housing of the carburetor. Whatever it is, I put the new float in, set the float, no leak, no flood, no problem. It's just fixed.
Now, when it comes to carburetors, there's 2 separate types of float valves. And I asked you this question, and you hadn't heard this term before, a gross valve. Or gross jet.
This one was really gross, if that's what it is.
No, GROSE. Gross was the dude who invented this. So traditionally, carburetors always had a needle valve for the float, which is the like rubber or neoprene.
You say traditionally,
Yeah.
It's not traditionally.
Up until 1960.
Well, no, because
this
you had
gross valve didn't exist before Gross invented it in 1960 and filed a patent.
Yeah, well,
so
then
that's
it wouldn't
traditionally.
No, that's atypical. If he had to invent something, that means it's not the norm.
Right. That's why I'm saying traditionally, before the gross valve that you're using in yours, it was the rubber needle, right?
Yes, like
you know what I'm talking about. Everyone knows
I'll get
rubber
one.
needle
right
seat. Yep. And that just basically, when the float tab pushes up on the needle valve, that rubber piece goes up into the orifice or the hole that flows fuel in. And that's
great,
traditionally.
I literally have one right here.
Perfect.
And this is
so now if you're watching on YouTube or on Spotify,
this is from
you have the
911. Okay.
Yes.
So this sits like this, and the fuel comes in this little hole right here
in the top. Yep.
And then this attaches to your float. Right
yes,
here.
there it is. So
and
there's
as
the actual
float
needle
comes
valve.
up, it pushes up in here, and it seats.
And that seals off that orifice.
Yeah, I don't know. We're not going to be able to see inside there, I don't think.
No, we don't need to see.
Oh, yeah, look at that. You can see it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, visual representation. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Can we get, is there a macro on this thing? There's no macro.
I highly doubt it. Nope.
Yep. But that's it. So this is the rubber tip.
So traditionally that was rubber. And then with the advent of ethanol, they would rot and deteriorate. So then they had to move to neoprene. However, in
Mine are
1960
brass on brass.
A dude named Gross invented this other type of mechanism that is literally 2 ball bearings. Did you know it's 2 ball bearings in there? No. There's one small one that is actually what plugs the orifice, and there's a big one that pushes up on the little guy, and that is what your float tab or tang actually operates against. So that's a Gross valve, a Gross jet needle valve.
That took grossly a long time to explain.
I'm educating you and others, okay?
I appreciate it. Anyway, so it's fixed, right? So then I go to drive it.
Well, here's my whole question. Because there are 2 different types, do you know the other 2 carburetors have that same type of float valve? Have you taken them apart and you see that it has the ball?
Oh, yeah, they're all the same.
Not the needle.
All the same.
Okay.
Yeah. I changed them all. I bought new ones. I changed everything.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm just gonna fix this.
Yeah, there's no reason. Okay.
I'm like, I'm repairing this. So I swapped it a new one, and it still flooded the carburetor. So then I'm like, okay, it's got to be the float.
Yeah.
You know, I put a fuel pressure gauge on there.
It wasn't broken like you thought it was, or like leaking. But
here's another
fixed it.
Weird thing. Okay.
What's that?
Is you have brass floats, which are basically a brass float thingy, like a ball. I don't know.
Good description. Good description.
Hey,
it's a float thingy.
Float.
This float is a float. How do you describe something? Use it in the definition. Yes, that's the way you do that, Chris. Chris is a writer. He's published. Okay, so what you're talking about?
It's a reservoir filled with air that floats, and they're brazed together.
Yes,
and those fail.
Sometimes they'll crack,
fail,
and
whatever.
Fill with fuel and sink.
The new ones are plastic and they're filled with foam.
So it actually filled.
Yeah, they're like solid foam.
So even if they crack, they won't.
Doesn't matter. Get,
like,
and I didn't know that. I thought maybe they were just hollow plastic. They're not.
That's what I would assume.
It's like high density foam inside.
Oh, cool. Okay,
so
good to know.
It smells really bad. It's this foam.
Did you open one up?
Yeah, I freaking smashed it with a hammer because I was so pissed off. Literally smashed it with a hammer.
Of course you did.
And then I stomped on it on the floor.
And then you're like, oh, look at this learning opportunity.
Yeah, I felt really, it felt really good to be able to do that.
Was that cathartic?
It did, actually, a lot. Believe it or not.
I don't know why.
They have rooms where you can smash things with hammers.
You are a toddler. You realize that with your temper tantrums? You do that a lot. You do have temper tantrums.
I don't think that's true.
You do.
No, a temper tantrum.
Angry.
I just went like
yell.
I went
and you hammer things.
I went F this thing, smashed it with a hammer. I wasn't even mad. I was just like caveman. And then I just
me grok, me pound.
Anyway, so it's fixed. It runs great.
That's awesome.
So I decided I was going to change out the rear differential.
Right.
Because my gearing.
That was the next thing.
I was driving the 911. When I shift, it's like 500 or 600 RPM difference, I think.
Between the gears,
like 800 RPMs, whatever it is. It's not a lot.
Which is great for a car like that where you want to keep it in the revs. Yes.
The Mercedes?
Actually, that's the tall gearbox even.
Taller.
Yeah.
There's other gearboxes that are taller than this one. The Mercedes drops 3,000 RPMs when you shift.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
That is like your entire rev range.
It's gone.
That is
and with the cams that I have,
I'm
dropping from 7,000 to like 3,200 RPMs.
Which, when you think about it in terms of power, you like whatever that engine makes, you're going from like
peak horsepower to like half. It is not good.
Probably less.
It is not good. So I'm like, okay, I need to like swap out the rear differential. That's all I can do right now. So, Jake, what is a ring and pinion ratio?
Right. So it's literally
it's
the number of teeth of the ratio, right? So the ring gear is what is attached to the axle, and the pinion gear is what's the drive shaft coming back to it. Or in the case of a transaxle, that's what actually is connected to your clutch. And so you're transmitting power through the pinion gear onto the ring gear.
I actually have a pumpkin in the rear of the visually. Hold on. In the Mercedes, I have a separate differential. It's in the back of the car.
Yeah.
So it's not like the 911. It's not in the transmission.
It's not like a transaxle. Right. No, but I'm saying, if you didn't, a 911 doesn't have a drive shaft. So that's why I was describing it's either connected to the drive shaft or to your input.
Basically, the ring and pinion is what takes rotational engine from your crankshaft and turns it to the wheels going out.
Right. But there is a ratio, a reduction, a gear reduction in it so that you have more mechanical advantage for torque. And usually it's somewhere around like 3-1, 4-1, something like that.
Yeah. So I've got what is in there now is a 346 ring and pinion, which is pretty tall. It is from a diesel, which they're made to chuggle on because they're awesome and they have tons of torque. They don't need, right, Jake?
Yes.
They're awesome because they have tons of torque.
No, they aren't. No.
Okay.
No.
Well,
I was trying to think if you were using the right term of tall.
Yeah, it's a tall gearbox. That means the gearing, or the gearing. I'm sorry, a tall differential. Short, tall, whatever. I put in a 392.
Okay.
Which is that's a huge difference. Like if
from
you
a
think,
what?
From a 346.
Oh yeah.
Massive difference. Massive.
It's like 30% difference.
Yeah. And needless to say, I did mess it up. I forgot to tighten the thing down because the
thing?
So there you have bearings.
I watched your Instagram story, but not with any audio. So I was just like,
okay. So the bearing race for the differential and the ring and pinion is in the housing that holds the seal for the drive shaft. And I was exploring this thing. I didn't really know how it came apart, how it went together. And I had taken it off. I'm like, oh, I don't need to take that off to get the seal. That just holds the bearing in. So then I put it back in and then walked away and never tightened it down. So I started driving down the street and the inside, the differential is like wobbling back and forth because the bearing is not seated on the race anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was bad. So I backed it, back in the driveway. The next day I came out and I tightened that down. And I was told that this differential was free. And I was told, hey, it might need a rebuild. And when I was looking at it, it was porn star wet. The thing was just soaked. It was absolutely soaked.
What does that mean? Oh, like it's leaking fluid.
It was leaking everywhere. Yes. I'm like, okay, maybe the rebuild just means that it needs to be resealed.
Needs seals.
So I resealed the whole thing. No, I think it's the bearings are bad.
Can you hear noise?
Yeah, it's just
So the other important part of a ring and pinion gear or differential is the lash, right? Yep. The lash is the measurement horizontally between the teeth and the interference. And either it's too tight and that is bad, or it's way too loose and it'll make a lot of noise and you'll have a lot of play in it.
Yes. So I found one on eBay, $200 shipped.
For a whole new differential.
For one with a warranty. So I just was like,
this is differential number like 4.
Yeah, actually, because I had
4.
Dude, the original one I had in there was a 392. And I took it out to put the diesel one in back when this thing was a 3-speed.
Right.
And I wanted to just cruise until Jeff needed to all of a sudden paint the thing.
And then you threw that out.
And then I'm like, well, now it has to be something because the paint job is so sick. So then I had to do everything that I've done. So fuck you, Jeff.
Yep.
My entire pain it's all Jeff's fault.
It's all Jeff's fault.
All of it.
All
100%.
Jeff's fault. Okay.
I never thought of it that way.
Or you could have just kept the part on the shelf and not thrown it away.
I know. I'm trying
But then you never would have needed it.
Okay, so anyway, I've got the cover on the car.
Never need it.
I've got the cover on the car. It's good to go.
Okay.
I did a little bit of jetting changes, stuff like that. Dude, I have a complaint. So you know the little fuses that are ceramic?
Yes.
They're not ceramic anymore. They're plastic.
They're plastic. Correct.
So when there's a little tang and it's spring loaded and you put it in there.
Yep.
And the my radiator fan is 20 amps. So I put a 25 amp fuse in there. Just whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
All that happens is that eventually the plastic gets warm enough and the spring-loaded tension squeezes it and pops the fuse out.
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense.
It melts the
plastic. Right.
Because
that doesn't make sense.
So if anybody knows where you can get actual actual ceramic versions of these fuses that don't just melt.
If it's getting that warm, that probably is indicative that it's too small of a fuse.
I've tried. I put a 40 ampere in there, and it doesn't change anything. Yeah. It's just the fact that it gets warm, and it's under spring tension, and it just slowly melts over time. Just slowly.
Should it be getting that warm to melt?
30 amps is a lot. You can get. It's not even melting a lot. It's just it's not melting.
Over
it's just
time.
Softening over time, and it just gets warm, and then slowly starts to just melt over like the course of.
I was going to say
500 to 1,000 miles.
That is plastic, but any modern fuse is plastic, right? So
but the blade is different. The blade is integral.
The blade doesn't have any tension.
Yeah,
right.
This has tension on it, which is probably one of the reasons why they got rid of it. That and people putting 22 caliber bullets instead of fuses.
Right.
You ever heard about that where people are shooting themselves in the leg because they're using a bullet for a fuse?
That's a different style of fuse too. That's the actual like tube style of fuse, not the. What is the term of these? It's a very European German thing.
Oh yeah, it's a ceramic fuse. That's what it is.
Right,
it's ceramic style, and the other bullet.
It's like a pill. Yeah,
I think bullet style fuse.
Bullet, tube, whatever.
And you're thinking of the glass one that you have in stereos and stuff.
Right. Yes. Didn't they use those in automotive applications, though?
Yeah, it's called
US cars back in the 60s.
Bullet type fuse. Yeah.
Okay. Ironic, since, yes, you could just put a 22 caliber bullet in there, but then that would also get hot, it turns out, and actually ignite and explode and set off the bullet. And I'm pretty sure a guy won a Darwin Award because he shot himself.
In the dick.
And killed himself. Yeah.
It went right into his femoral artery.
I also, heard that story.
Okay.
Not good. Okay.
Look, listen to this.
Reading?
I'm looking at a review. These fuses are legit and holding strong. They're actually ceramic. Do not waste your money buying the cheap kind of, quote, ceramic plastic fuses that will melt the plastic and blow out. Do yourself a favor and buy these ones.
This is a problem.
Here's another one. Verified purchase. Hard to find as you know why you are here. Order these quality fuses and you will not be disappointed.
That's amazing. Okay. You'll have to send that. You know what? Show notes.
Yeah. Remind me. I'll put the link to the
because I want them, and now everyone who is listening probably wants these too.
There's only like 5 of them for like $3. They're not cheap. They're made by Flossler. They're German.
Of course,
I'm buying this. I'm going to put together, dude. I'm going to put together a nice little kit. It's going to have like all little fuses. They're all going to be labeled.
This is an idea for the thing.
Yeah.
And the place.
Yep.
Okay. We know.
Yes.
You guys don't know, but you
we
will.
know. We know.
Yes.
Now that they know now.
They don't know.
Well, they know. They know. If we start saying we know, and we're like keeping secrets, everybody knows what we're talking about.
They have no idea.
Sure. So why don't you?
I don't even know if I'm sure what we're talking about.
So I've been scouting the rally, which has been fun.
Okay. Yeah.
It's been.
You haven't been scouting yet, but you're planning the
scout.
Hey,
we can just tell people
virtually scouting.
We can tell people the car that I got, right? For the rally. Overcrest bought me a car to scout with.
Yeah.
Why don't we just talk about it, right?
Okay.
It's not a surprise.
No, I got down a minute because I'm always dubious and skeptical whenever we buy cars as an organization.
You don't
just makes me stressed a little bit. No, it's not that I don't trust you. It's just
Then what are you scared of?
I don't know.
I
don't know, Chris. I don't know.
What are you scared of? You're scared of something.
It's a lot of cars. I own a lot of cars personally, and now the company's buying cars.
So Overcrest has a van, the car that I've got, and a secret car. 3 cars. That's Overcrest now has 3 cars.
And then I have 6 cars personally.
I have 5.
I'm just like, this is too much. Chris, we're out of control.
So I needed a scout again, and I got a message the other day, like serendipitous timing. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do because I want to fly out, buy a car that's not going to break down, and drive it around and scout the rally, and then drive the car home and sell it. I am broke, like I have 3 digits in my bank account right now.
Ooh,
3
but
digits.
Overcrest does have some money.
Overcrest does have
cars,
money.
Apparently.
Yes, we have some money. And I had a guy send me a message, and it is the dude that I bought the wagon from last year's rally scouting.
I didn't realize this. It's the same guy.
This is why I have so much trust.
Scouting. Okay.
Yes. This is why I have so much trust, because I've been talking to this guy for a while, and he told me about this car, and he's like, dude, he's owned this car for like 17 or 18 years.
Wow.
Okay, it is his baby, this car. It's a really nice car. Well maintained. He didn't really want to sell it, but he thought he would call me and ask me if I wanted to buy it. And I said,
that's really cool.
Maybe. And then I hit up my buddies Jake and Jeff, and I said, hey, why doesn't Overcrest buy this car? And then we can keep it around for maybe other purposes or whatever we decide to maybe.
Oh, so now you don't even want to sell it. Now we're just going to hang on to this thing.
Either that or I'll buy it from Overcrest later.
We need a warehouse.
I know we do.
Okay.
I agree with you.
Okay.
Come on, 1%er. When are you going to buy some land? Let's go. What's wrong with you? Good. You've been saying that for a year. Buy a garage already. Let's go. Stop fucking around.
Garage.
Come on. Just do it.
A storage facility right now.
You've got a Cayenne, and you've had and a Macan Turbo situation, and a 911.
Yeah.
You can buy a garage.
I have too many things already. I need more
so this
space.
car, he calls me up. I take a look at the mod list of this thing.
Okay.
Everything's been done. Okay.
That's awesome.
All the suspension has been done. It's got Bilstein HDs, all rubber suspension.
What car is this? People, you don't know what car this is.
You want me to say, or do you want me to save it to the
end?
Yeah. It is a W123. I know. I've already scouted in one of these, but the deal couldn't be passed up. The price was really good.
It's the same vehicle as the wagon,
but it is a turbo diesel. It's a European gray market car. So it has all Euro bumpers, European headlights, Euro trailer hitch even.
So that means it was imported from...
It was imported.
Germany,
I don't remember what the
Europe,
mileage is, but it's low mileage. It's lowered with the guy had custom springs made from Eibach in a group buy back in the day with a bunch of dudes got together and bought some springs. All Bilstein. It's got a bigger turbo on it, different injection pump. It's kind of a hot diesel engine. It's got the Penta wheels on it that I've got on this shitbox back here. And it is dialed. The only bad thing about this car is it has the tan interior, but it is a rare brown, like a chocolate brown.
I like
color.
Brown for that vintage of car.
For 70s, 80s. Yeah, it's great.
Yep.
So I'm like, you know what? I just can't. I kind of wanted to do something JDM. I wanted to get
because we haven't really done that.
I don't know. I wanted to get like a Starlet or what is it? Not a Dodge Daytona. What's the
Toyota
Starion.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I wanted to get, or a Chrysler Conquest, or just
Conquest,
some of these.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
I was thinking out of the box of things I want to do, but this car comes along. I know it's going to serve me well. They're virtually indestructible. And
it's definitely on brand for you.
I'm not worried about that, but it's something that
I'm just saying,
if I'm in the middle of the Umatilla National Forest near what's the name of the place?
Are you looking at a map right now?
If I'm driving through Dickshooter and I break down,
is that a town?
Yeah, it's Dickshooter. It's in southwest Idaho.
Okay,
where I'm going to be coming through. Yeah, Dickshooter. I don't know if anybody lives there.
That's ironic that we just talked about that Darwin Award with the dude with the 22 shell. And now we're talking about Dickshooter. Is that where it happened? And that's why they named the town?
Yeah, Dickshooter. It's right next to Riddle.
Well, that's a riddle.
Dude, there's so many weird names. There's a place out here called like Wagon Wheel and Cockburn. And here's one called Wagon Tire. I mean, what are we going to name this place, Irma? The guy looks over at his fucking wagon wheel that's broken off on his Oregon Trail frickin' wagon. Wagon Tire. I got nothing, honey. I'm out.
Wagon Tire.
And anyway, that's the car. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick that thing up. You need to come up here and bring me the money. And I'll drive it through Dickshooter. I really want to get to Dickshooter. That's my main goal is to find a sign that says Dickshooter on it.
And just take a photo.
Yep, that's it. That's all I want to do. Everything else is gravy.
I really want you to go talk to a local there and figure out the origin of that.
It's you zoom out pretty far. I mean, I can almost see the entire state, and there's Dickshooter. But when I zoom in on Dickshooter, I don't really see any places.
They make sure they tell you the name when you're zoomed out, but it's not even a big town.
No, it's not. Maybe people are looking at a lot. Wait, what's this?
Well, yeah.
No, there's nothing, man. There's like a couple like.
Is it a probably gas station town?
There's no town. It's Dickshooter, and there is. Just look it up, dude. Look on your computer. Or here, dude, I can share, right? I can share. I'll do it. I'll share.
That would be better for our listeners.
All right, everybody.
If you're already, welcome to Dickshooter.
All right, so this is Dickshooter right here. This is it. Dickshooter.
No, that's it?
That's it.
Yeah. Can you click on it? Does it do anything? That's funny.
Oh, yeah, here's the fuses, by the way. All right, Dickshooter, Idaho. What can we find out? It's a wilderness area.
Oh.
It's got a ridge, a reservoir, and a creek. Dickshooter, Idaho. An unfortunate name. Oh, here we go. Oh, there's a hat. Oh, dude.
Oh.
Okay. I'm on a mission. Mission. In the middle of the vast Owyhee County desert sits a map dot on Google called Dickshooter. The name it became the butt of jokes. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, Dickshooter. Okay, so it was named for a man actually named Mr. Dick Shooter.
So first name Dick, last name Shooter.
It's probably Richard Shooter, but yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
He settled out in the Owyhee out there and is on the southern side of the county near the Nevada border. It truly is out in the middle of nowhere. It was and still is cattle ranching that eventually had a line shack, which was part of the telegraph line to Idaho City.
Oh,
so the stagecoach would leave. By the way, guys, this is my scouting map. So if you're trying to figure out where we're going for the rally here, this is all meaningless. That's just where I'm driving when I scout. So don't get too excited. I know people are looking at that. Trying to find secrets out. Sorry. It's a mystery. I know a lot of people.
What happened to Richard Shooter?
It doesn't say.
They don't have a clue. Not even a picture exists of this guy. It's an unfortunate name. One of, I guess, many Idaho unfortunate names.
I'm gonna look up unfortunate Idaho towns then.
Yeah, apparently it's a whole thing here. Huh.
Okay. 13 Idaho town
names.
Oh my
gosh.
Oh my, what do we got there? Okay, Dickshooter.
Yep.
Athol. You Athol? Are you?
It's Athol.
Chubbuck.
Bone.
Dingle.
Firth.
That's
Firthy.
Gross. Shells Lick. Dover. Crouch. Peck. And Bonner's Ferry. None of those sound that ridiculous.
As good as Dickshooter for sure.
Dickshooter.
Okay.
All right. Where were we before? Oh yeah. So I got that.
I got
the
Benz. The car. You're going out scouting at some point.
We'll bring it back and keep it around for a minute, and then Overcross will probably either sell it or keep it around for another secret project. I know that you think that we should keep it around for a secret, or we should sell it. I think we should keep it around for a secret project, but we'll see.
We'll see
how things go.
We'll see.
Once I'm back, honestly, I don't care. I'm done. Just like the wagon. Once I've had I conceive an experience.
You get it out of your system. Yeah.
Yeah. Once I conceive the experience of something, then I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't need to do it anymore. One thing I want to do is I want to try and get the air conditioning working.
Oh, does it not?
Oh, I'm sure it doesn't. They never do. But you usually
this guy he has it all dialed in.
But he doesn't drive it. And when you don't drive air conditioning, it leaks out.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try. First thing I'll do is I'm going to pound R134 in there right away.
Yeah.
It works.
You can still get R12.
It's really expensive.
I know. I have 3 cans
ungodly
of it.
Expensive. Yeah, my grandpa has like 30 cans on the shelf. I'm like, can I have a couple of these? And he goes, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just need two. No.
It's legal to have and to sell, but not to, I think, manufacture anymore.
Yeah, so it's just
the way
like
that works.
Dwindling resource.
Exactly. Okay. Let's get into news, but before we do, no, we're not talking about Dickshooter, Chris. We're talking about Automotive Anonymous.
Aha.
Yes, these are our friends. They started out as a personal collector of motorsport goods. It's turned into an amazing curated store of vintage automotive posters and collectibles. You should head over there right now, Chris. Let's see if, in the spirit of that Mercedes,
I've got
see if we can pull up a Mercedes.
Check this out. So he's selling these little Fuchs that I just
posted this is Auto Anon as well.
Right here.
Yep.
Check that
little
guy
pin.
out. Little pin on my hat.
All the enamel pins are limited edition. All of the posters are original, and so they are.
Let's take a look at the pins. We looked at the posters last time.
Okay, let's do it.
See what we got here.
And this is all on autoanon.com. You can also go on Instagram at Automotive Anonymous. I might have to get one of those.
Which one?
Yep. The Fuchs.
The Fook, yeah, those are sweet. If you would have came to Lufical, cool. He probably would have just given you one.
Oh, yep. See, I didn't
make
it out there.
So
he's obviously a Porsche guy. A lot of 911 pins there, but especially in the motorsport area there with the posters.
Vintage pins.
Get all sorts of stuff. Oh, check that out. An old McLaren F1 pin set.
Wow. McLaren
really
F1
cool.
pin. That is sick.
Yep. So he new inventory every month. Vintage Motorsports apparel, more of this coming, along with books and models and other collectibles are coming soon. There's the poster section right there. There's I think there's literally hundreds of posters.
There's a lot of posters here for sure.
I do love that they're all vintage original stuff. So check those guys out. AutoAnon.com. Use the code Overcrest. Get you free shipping. What we're looking at, a Jackie X poster.
This is kind of cool. It's like it's a. I mean, for those who are watching, you
Porsche
can see it. For those that aren't,
Jackie X. Yep. Yeah, it's a German poster from
the Will Meitzer shaft, 1982, with the 956.
That is a cool poster.
Really rad. It's kind of like it's got the pins holding the Polaroid up and stuff. Really, really neat. All right.
Check those guys out. Very cool.
All right. What else
Chris,
we got? What's going on?
Talk about some news? Do you want to talk about news?
Let me see how much time I
have.
I'm
slowly still putting the 944 turbo together.
Do you want to skip news and just talk about that? Because I got 10 more minutes till it turns into like the Lord of the Flies around here. For some reason, this year, it was always just the kids came home, they played video games,
and it was fine.
Hey, I love you, Dad. No, what do you want to do? Oh, come help me turn screws in the garage. Oh, let's work on the treehouse. Okay. Now it's bye, Dad. Boom, and they're gone. They come back. My kids in the neighborhood are known as the girls because we have the only girls in the neighborhood. And it is just like
it's a boys' neighborhood.
Yeah, and there's like 10 boys that come around.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, they come around. Yep. This one kid, Logan.
Hey, is Irene around?
No, he comes over at like 7:30 in the fucking morning every Saturday. Goes up to the door, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, just nails it.
No.
I finally go. I'm like, dude, you only have to ring the doorbell once. And he was like, like cowering in fear a little bit.
Yeah,
like, jeez, man.
Oh,
and you look at all these boys. And you just wonder which one of them is going to grow up to be an asshole, which one of them is going to grow up to be a nice guy.
Can you
tell? Not yet.
Can you kind of tell? No,
not yet. Most of the kids are pretty good around here. It's in this neighborhood. I've met all the parents. Everybody's pretty good. So I don't think we have any, as far as I could tell, any problem children yet. the neighbor boy over here, Riker. He is like 6, and he has a dirt bike.
No.
And he keeps riding over and telling Veronica he wants to take her for a ride on his dirt bike.
Oh, that's cool.
So, and he's like, well, you can just drive it if you want. And like the dude's already pulling the motorcycle thing.
Oh, man.
So I was like, maybe not.
What does you as the girl dad think of that?
That's fine.
I'm trying to, you're just like, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I don't know either. You're going to like be shining your shotgun on the rocking porch or like,
I don't know,
the rocking chair on the front porch.
I think the requirement is if they come over and I introduce myself to them and they don't think my cars are cool, that's it. They're out.
Okay.
They already they have bad taste.
Even if they don't like your cars, they got to just pretend.
They got to pretend. Put the word out.
You got to stroke your
even
ego.
If the kid showed up in some Ricer mobile that he had been working on himself, totally cool.
Yeah.
I just want a guy that I want a guy that works on something a little bit. I don't want a guy that paints his Xbox controller. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want
that's better than some too, that he's doing that.
Yeah, that's probably true. I don't know. I just don't want some Dorito basement dwelling nincompoop. But my girls aren't going to bring home a boy like that anyway.
No, probably not. All right.
We got room
on the 944.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to tell you, it's slowly.
What is the problem?
Slowly coming together.
What is the problem?
Is every system I try to bolt together, I realize, the guy completely removed the entire So I'm going from he pulled out all of the power steering and did the 1-year only option of the manual steering rack, and I was like, well, I want to put the power steering back in and make it correct because it was kind of hard to drive, or heavy at least for that car. Well, and so
especially when you put those new tires on
the system. Yes.
By the way, what kind of tires do you have on that thing?
No idea.
Yes, you do.
What?
They're like ding dong ling lang tires.
Correct. Yes,
what are they actually called?
I don't know.
It's completely in like Chinese.
Yeah, and they have tribal tattoos on them.
They are called, what do we call those, Jake? Ditch divers.
Oh, ditch divers. Yes.
Yeah, those are bad tires. You need to get rid of those tires.
Okay, I will. I'll do lots of burnouts.
That's great, but you don't want to run those tires. That's not good, dude. It's not good.
They were so cheap.
I'll
just do that.
No, don't do that. We've tried Nankangs in my past. Back when we wanted to stretch tires. No,
that might be what these are.
Nope, they're worse.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they're worse. Nankangs are actually a decent Chinese brand, but we still called them ditch divers. Right, they were like 165, 45, 15. Just like these
then
little
you just
tiny
stretch
stretchy.
Them. Nope. Back in the day.
Yeah.
Poor choices. Regardless, yeah, so it's like the power steering system is supposed to have a cooler for the power steering fluid, which is kind of cool.
Why?
Yep. And so I had to order that now because otherwise it won't hook up. And then I went to hook up all the coolant hoses, and this has the liquid cooled turbocharger as well. And so the coolant reservoir is a separate turbo only reservoir that has a separate outlet that the guy chucked and got a different one for. And I'm like, it's just one thing after another. And the fuel system was hacked apart. So I finally got the fuel pump in there, fuel filter, all the lines done for that. Exhaust now is all put back together. All the hangers and brackets were missing.
Do you want to buy a Mercedes 280S to drive around in the meantime?
Is that your red car?
I hate for some reason big body old Mercedes are the hardest things to sell.
Why?
In the history. I don't want to sound
specifically
stereotypical or anything. Just like
is it the type of clientele that it attracts?
It is. And it's broad. I mean, it's not like one specific group of people, but it is in general immigrant based.
Okay.
Not great English.
Okay.
And you have to understand that in Eastern Europe, Turkey, Bulgaria, Belarus, all these countries that these dudes that are coming that want to buy this car from, Mercedes is huge. Okay.
Sure.
So it's
that
massive
makes sense.
Culture.
So
but
that's
the problem
why it's
is
attracting these.
And I don't know what the problem is. Everybody's a flake.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a cultural thing. I don't know if it's a price point thing that it's just not expensive, so nobody takes it seriously.
So they just
blow
it off.
That's
part of the problem.
But the language barrier coupled with the is it available, it's just I'm losing
part of it, I will
my
say,
mind.
Part of it, I will say, the problem is just Facebook and online marketplaces in general. It's too easy to be like, hey, I'm interested. Yeah, I'll come take a look. And it's too easy to say that or not show up, or you know what I mean? It doesn't take any effort to reach out. It used to be you'd open the newspaper, you'd search for what you wanted, you'd find it, and have to pick up the phone and call the guy and arrange a time to look at
Remember when
things.
we had Colin Comer from Colin's Classic Auto on the podcast?
I do, yeah.
It's a good episode. If you guys haven't listened to that one, to go back and listen to it. He used to just hop in a truck with an empty trailer, drive down to the Southwest, walk into the grocery store, get the pamphlet off the thing.
That's
off the
right.
Shelf,
Yeah.
and page through it, and then look in the newspaper of that area to find cars.
Yeah, it used to be a lot different.
That guy isn't calling up somebody in Poughkeepsie going, is it available? Click. Because he's already put the time in.
Exactly. And I think that's what's so different about it now.
I had a guy can I have a picture of this? Yes. Can I have a picture under the beaded seat cover? Yes, the seat's great. Can I have a picture of the engine compartment? Show a picture of the engine compartment. It's not bad. It's not leaking. It's not a leaky car. Can I have a video of it running? Yes, here it is. It runs mint. I'm not interested. What are we doing? I'm
did he reply that he wasn't interested?
Yeah, he's like, I guess I'm just not interested. I'm like, dude, all of the things I'm showing you are good. It's not like I'm showing you tears in the seat, headliners drooping, and the engine's running rough. What are we doing?
I don't know. That's weird.
What is the problem here? I think...
Are they not actually interested in the first place, and it's just curiosity, maybe?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
But I even was like, dude, I can tell that you're a colossal waste of time, but yes, I will get those things for you.
Did you tell him that?
Totally. I can just tell. Dude.
Wow.
You saw my Instagram post. I've talked to at least 40 people about this car.
Really?
Yeah, I'm losing it.
Wow.
And with that, my kids just got off the bus, and it's about to be the Lord of the Flies. And That's it.
We're going to be back on Friday with the second part of Chris's road trip recap.
Yes, we will.
We're actually on the road.
Yeah, with Veronica.
We'll talk about those adventures.
Talk a little bit of fatherhood.
That's right. Veronica's going to join us.
Yeah,
that'll be great.
We'll figure that out. What do you want? Do you want to interview her, or what do you want to do?
She'll be. I don't know.
What we should probably do is before I tell you what to do want to talk about Drivers Club for a second, since we didn't talk about that at all, and then we'll continue on for a minute.
We didn't.
Go ahead.
Yes, Drivers Club, overcrestproductions.com/Drivers Club. For as little as $5 a month, you can become a member of the Overcrest Drivers Club. We have exclusive areas in the Discord.
Yes.
The Discord, however, you don't have to be Drivers Club.
Yeah, you can
remember to get to.
Yeah.
Head right over there, discord.com/Overcrest.
I'll put a link for the Discord in the show notes for you guys.
Yep,
it's popping.
do that.
I mean, there's I forget to go in there sometimes.
Great.
And I go in there and it's exploded. I'm like, shit, I can't even see all this. You got to keep
up on conversations.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's wild. It's awesome.
Yeah, and but Drivers Club, we have exclusive episodes. If you like a lot of the history stories and a lot of the just conversation that we have, a little more, what would you call it? A little more casual, Chris. We're a little more casual with the behind the scenes. So head over there, overcrestproductions.com/Drivers Club. We just recorded a new exclusive episode, and we have many more to come as well.
overcrestproductions.com/Drivers Club. Plus, you get early access to merch when we release it, which is also good. There's all kinds of shit. And don't be a lazy. $5, guys. $5. Don't be lazy.
Don't be a lazy.
Don't be
a lazy. Trails off.
Don't be a lazy freeloader, because that's what you are. If you're not a member of the Drivers Club, you are a freeloader. And Mama didn't raise no freeloader. All right. Well, I'm going to get back to this.
You don't know that. What are you doing?
This is scouting. This is
you have highlighters.
This is definitely going to drive. Maybe going to drive.
Okay.
POI.
Orange.
This is all I've got 2 atlases, one for recreational stuff, one for, just the Gazette.
Roads. Yep. The Gazette.
Then I can look, and sometimes when you're on Google Maps and you're dragging your little dude around, you can't put him somewhere because it's too remote. So then I have to go in here, and I can look and see what kind of road it is, if it's gravel, if it's not gravel. If it's
That'll tell you that?
Yes, it will. It'll tell you what kind of surface the road is. So it's not always correct, but it helps. It helps a lot. Okay, so Veronica, I think what we should do is I'll bring her in here and sit her down, and then I'm going to walk away, and I'm not going to be and I think it'd be a little more natural for her if she's not worried about me.
Interesting.
And you can ask her a few questions. We'll see how
that could be fun. Yeah, that could be fun.
We talked a little bit about when someone asks you something, hey, did you go to the Golden Gate Bridge? And she goes, yes.
Right.
And I'm like,
that's not what they want.
I go, they want the whole story.
Expound on it. Right.
Tell the whole story. Tell them everything. That's what we're working on. So you might have to fight through that a little bit.
No, that'll be fun. Yeah. That'll be really good.
All right, guys. We will see you on Friday with all of that.
All right. Take care.